This is the Giraffes Don't Eat Steak podcast, a show that brings you marketing stories, tips, hints, and much more. A treat for those who want to succeed in business or marketers who just want to learn. Hello, Alex.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have you had a haircut?
I have, yeah. I've started to get fed up with longer hair because it makes me feel more bald, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It stresses me out. So I decided to just be done with it.
Okay. Looks very cool.
Thank you very
You're
much.
very neat.
Thank you.
So I have just had a really cool call with the guy that runs a networking organization.
Okay.
And this networking is all about events. So I thought I'd have a call because I wasn't sure how that works. It's called Network My Club. And they have basically a lunch event at sports stadiums. Now, you know, sport is lost on me. So when he was proudly telling me about Twickenham and the Oval and stuff, I'm like, okay. But it made me think about networking as an important marketing strategy.
Hmm.
And for someone like you, who I think hates networking, right?
Yeah. Official networking, I hate.
But this,
Unofficial.
I thought you may enjoy this. This is literally a lunch at a sports, in a box at a sports thing, and no 60-second pitch.
And that sounds a lot more palatable for me.
It does, right? You walk in, you eat lunch, which you like eating, and you talk to people, and there's nothing else.
That I can do that.
I thought so. I'll
I
send it
can
to
do that.
you. But we were talking, it's so a shame. This guy was selling to me, right, the importance of networking as part of your marketing strategy. And I said to him, no, I'm a fan. I absolutely believe networking has a place in your marketing strategy. But you have to answer two questions. Is your target market there?
Yes,
Or do they have clients who are your target market?
exactly.
Because that's what it's about.
Yeah. And you're not just going there because you've now made some friends and you're using it as an excuse to speak with your friends on work time, if that makes sense. I feel that.
And, and it is a valid reason. And I was talking about some of the networking I've been to, and it's been absolutely that. They have not been my target client. I knew that they were not my target clients, but I liked them and I liked hanging out with them once a month. And it also gave me an opportunity to practice my public speaking, my 60-second in a safe environment. So as long as you're clear about why you're going
Yeah.
and you're sure that that's the benefit you want for your business, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
As long as you're honest about it and you're aware of why you're going and you can understand what the value is. Completely agree.
So he took away my pebble in the shoe analogy, which was really cool. And he said it at the end. He said, I'm taking that away with me because I like it. Because I said to him, the whole problem with networking is people think people at networking events have the nail in the shoe, right? They go to these networking thinking they're going to walk away with 3 business deals or whatever. But actually, most of us sell nail people in the shoe
Yeah.
solutions, not nail in the foot solutions.
And
And
it's
so
not
you have, yes, you have to take time, you have to build relationships, you've got to make sure your name is out there, people get to know you and what you have to offer, so that when their pebble becomes a nail, as we know it will at some point, they like, I remember I met Alex at so and so and he can do this for me, and you
Yeah.
become the go-to, right?
Yeah. What's the frequency of the his events?
Well, I don't know. I'll find out. But for example, tomorrow they're having a big one in Brighton. I don't know the name of the thing. He did tell me. But on Thursday next week, it's at the Oval.
Okay.
And on the 1st of February, it's in Twickenham. I think I'm gonna go to that one.
I think,
Gonna
didn't
try it
we,
out.
we went to the Oval, didn't we?
We did. We did cricket at the Oval, I
It was
think.
England against South Africa.
Yes,
I
and
have
it
no idea who
rained.
won.
Well, because they didn't play, remember? It was raining and they kept running inside and outside, covering their hair.
That's not why I don't remember what happened. I was far more fascinated by the refreshments.
The sweets machine that they had there.
Yeah, it was the sweets machine. That was it.
And you had that caricature done. That was really
Caricature.
nice.
Where is that caricature?
You must have it. I don't have it. But that was nice, right?
Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that was a good entertaining. That's a good entertaining way at networking, because that was networking. We were kind of networking
Yeah, it was
then.
networking. Yeah, it was a business event.
Yeah. So, and that wasn't stressful. And this is what I say to him, I have to try it out. So I think I'll try the trick in a month, because as an introvert, the thought, you see, even though for you, not having a structure sounds great. For me, the not having a structure sounds awful, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, you just for 2.5 hours walk and talk to people. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable with that than the stress of knowing, okay, you've got to do your 60 seconds or whatever at the beginning. I prefer just to mingle and naturally talk about what we do.
So that's what I'm thinking, right? So other than making sure your target client's in the right networking, you also need to make sure it's the right structure for you, that it's one you're comfortable with. And
Yeah.
even the two of us would like completely, I know you came to some of my other network and you hated it, right? I think you came twice. And you hated it.
Yeah.
Where I enjoyed the structure. I like knowing at 8 we're doing this, at 8:30 we're doing that. I like the structure of it rather than walk into a room of 60 people and go introduce yourself and talk. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
hell to me.
Any of your ones that you're part of still doing the online part, the online sessions or?
Yes, and even that's interesting. So this one that I met is purely face to face. But another networking I belong to, Outside Ideas, is purely online, right? So they're only online. And I'm comfortable with online. I think I like being able to, number one, log in wherever I am and join. And it's structured, so it suits me. I know the structure and the rhythm of how it's going to work.
It sounds like it's quite an important balance to have the online and in-person one. The in-person one, I think you possibly get more value from long term, but I don't know, but it is also way more time consuming because obviously you've got to get there, you've got to get back, etc., etc. So it's like if you have the in-person one once a month and a half or something like that, and then have a few online ones in between,
Yeah.
then you could keep those relationships building, but you're not wasting your time every week traveling 2 hours there and back. Because sometimes it's your whole day, isn't it, to go to an event?
Well, if I go to Twickenham for a lunch event, it's going to be the whole day,
Yeah,
right?
that's your whole day, yeah. But
That's
even if you just go to like where did we go? One in Henley or something like that.
that also
It
took.
still takes an hour to get there, hour to get back, have the thing there.
Yeah. So the important thing is that you calculate your return on investment, right?
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
return on investment has to include your travel time, has to include, you know, the hours you're not working because you're networking, right? So it's part of your marketing spend. But as well as, are you making the right context? The second part, though, is you have to work it. You can't just arrive, hand out your business cards, and then expect everyone's going to come flocking to your door. You need to contact people on LinkedIn. You need to connect. You need to set up one-to-ones with people that you've met afterwards and talk deeper.
Yeah, you need to probe. You need to understand what their problems are, what their clients' problems are, and because you basically just need to dig and dig and dig until you find where you help.
Exactly.
Somebody needs you, because sometimes even though you may be speaking to industry professionals, doesn't mean that they are actually completely aware of what the pain point is that you can solve, or even if they have one, or even if their clients have one, because it might be outside of their remit as well, right?
Absolutely. And even, yeah, the clients one is interesting. So some of the networking groups have the fixed seat option, which is only one person from that profession is allowed. And that's quite attractive because then there's no competitors in the room, right? But on the other hand, you're also limited to your scope because then you have that fixed setup. And then the open setup, and I have been to an online networking where there were 12 of us marketers in the room, and that does get a bit like, okay, hello, a bit awkward. So even that is a balance, right? To decide of what's the best fit for you.
Yeah, and what you're looking for, because you could actually just be going to networking because you want to build your supplier list. You might be all right from a client base, right? You might be go to network to find graphic designers, copywriters, or whatever it is in the marketing space. And that's another reason to go, isn't it?
That's true. So, tips on adding networking to your marketing strategy.
Don't force it. If it's not your thing and you just never get into it, then I think you need to be honest with yourself, because you could just be completely wasting your time, or at least find the event that does work for you. I feel like it wouldn't be great if I kept on going to the ones that I just didn't get along with, because I wouldn't be showing my best face, and I would be wasting my time.
But do try it, because what I say to my clients is sometimes they all have a free first try, right? So go and try, because number one, it will tell you, does the format work for you? And I've been to a few where I've gone once. I think the one I even left within the first 10 minutes because I was like, not for me, which is fine, right? I can tick.
Let me guess. Everyone was wearing suits.
They were all wearing suits. But try it. See if, number one, the format works for you. Number two, if your clients are in the room, because sometimes you don't know until you get there and find out, is this your right time? And then you've wasted nothing but a few hours, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. You should absolutely try.
And then if you find one that works, it is a long game. You're not going to make, sometimes you're lucky and you hit the jackpot on your first meeting because someone just happens to have that nail in the foot as you walk through the door. But most times you've got to build a relationship. Some of my clients now, I met through networking maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Camelot is 3 years, right? I was part of Camelot for 3 years. Like, some of it's a long game. You need to keep showing your face, keep building relationships, and then it will reap benefits. But you have to put in the work.
I think that's the most important takeaway. Give it time, work on it, work hard. And I think that's applicable to most things that we do. I know we had another podcast about just chopping and changing the things you're doing and not giving something time and effort, because you're just setting out to fail. So I think that's probably the most important thing to remember.
Awesome. Well, if you want me to send you to the Oval, Alex, let me know. I'll send you the link.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That wraps up this episode of Giraffes Don't Eat Steak. Thanks for joining us. I hope you found value in our discussion and got some new ideas to apply to your own business. Tune in next week for another round of marketing insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate you listening. Catch you next time on Giraffes Don't Eat Steak.